Thank you for joining the Syndicate Network and your host, Skywalker the Jedi. Skywalker the Jedi.
Yo, what's going on, y'all? It is your boy Skywalker the Jedi back at y'all with another one. Y'all could be anywhere else in the world right now, but you hear me rocking out, and I appreciate that, man. Much love, y'all. Much love. We about to get to it. Man, I'm gonna get straight to it. I'm gonna get right into it because I ain't trying to bury the lead. I ain't trying to be on super long tonight, but I definitely wanted to bring this discussion to you guys because this has been a conversation in the community. I know a lot of you guys have been very interested in the Schumacher cut. I haven't spent a lot of time kind of talking about it, and it has been for a certain reason. And I'm going to get into that tonight, as it has to do with this conversation, like at large. So let's go ahead and say what up to everybody that's in the building already. Before we get started, we got the homie, the good Austin, in here early. What's going on, Austin? How you feeling, dog? We got the Curly Ray in the house. What's going on, Curly Ray? Right, Mama Bear, dog. Thank you so much for being here, Mama Bear. Much love and appreciation. We got the Curly Ray with the member chat for 16 months saying we see the signs, and I believe the Snyderverse will be coming to Netflix soon. Hashtag sell ZSJL and sell Snyderverse to Netflix. Let them know, Curly Ray. Let them know, dog. Right, we here repping. When this repping time. When this repping time. Deep set. Hey, hold on.
You hear that, Mr. Anderson? That is the sound of inevitability.
Yeah, let them know. Let them know. We got Sin Havoc 5150 in the building. What's going on, Sin Havoc? We got Alan Belk in the building. Alan Belk said, I'm definitely interested in the Schumacher cut. Hey, we about to talk about it, Alan Belk. We about to talk about it. All right, we're going to talk about it. I promise you. I ain't about to bury the lead because I ain't even about to go through the rigmarole. Y'all know what's up. Just sub to the channel. Y'all know what the ROEs are. You know, don't mix the hashtags. Be positive and don't tag anybody from WBD or DC Studios. You know, like, share, subscribe. We're on the way to 5K. Hit up the homie Apex Leon if you need to know anything else. Right? And much love. So let me get to this real quick before we get started. Right? I just want to talk about how much I enjoyed Batman Forever as a kid. You know, I really enjoyed that film. I can remember when it came out. I remember the cultural impact that movie had. Not just because it was kind of marrying Batman with like one of the biggest stars of that time, with it being like Jim Carrey, right? Because Jim Carrey was, man, he was on fire back then, right? This is peak Jim Carrey time. So you were not only getting Jim Carrey stepping over in the DC and being the Riddler and all that, right? But just it being a new Batman, it was like, I love the first two Tim Burton Batman films. I didn't like Batman Forever though, because while it was a bit lighter in tone, I didn't think it kind of went too far, right? It wasn't until Batman and Robin where it just like went off a cliff. But Batman Forever, I will always defend that movie. And I don't know if y'all know about the cultural impact of Kiss from a Rose by Seal. I mean, yo, that soundtrack, bro. I don't know how many records it sold. It was probably massive, yo, because that song was everywhere. Everywhere. Wasn't no denying it. Everybody was singing it. There used to be a green tower alone on the sea. Oh my God. Anyway. And you became the light on the dark side of me. Anyway, sorry. Yeah, it's like it didn't go too far like Batman and Robin did. Batman and Robin kind of took what Batman Forever did and said, "Yo, hold my beer," right? So that's like a totally different thing. But it was a very fun movie. Even though apparently or allegedly, I should rather say, Jim Carrey and Tommy Lee Jones wasn't really getting along on set too much, right? But you know, it still came through on screen like they had a lot of fun together making that movie. I would have thought that they had fun, but they obviously weren't. So yeah, that movie, at least for us, that was like growing up around that time. That movie's always been dope, right? So, and it's funny because we all still kind of don't like Batman and Robin either. So it just shows how much further that movie went than Batman Forever did. But yeah, yo, we had a lot of fun with Batman Forever. So I love that movie. And to have an opportunity to be able to see like whatever Joel Schumacher's like real vision was for that film, it's definitely been something that's always been intriguing to me, right? Especially in this current day and age with all of these like director's cuts being a thing and all that, you know, it's just really look, you just kind of had to be there, right? It was just definitely a time. So to be here now and to have a space where we could probably see this film, or we should be able to, when this opportunity came up to see the Schumacher cut, I was intrigued, but I was a bit apprehensive to want to talk about this stuff still, right? And that being because I've always felt like the Schumacher cut has been positioned in a way where they were trying to take our attention away from asking for the Ayer cut of Suicide Squad. And that's just been like, you know, my flat out observation. There's been several times where while we've been talking about the Ayer cut, there's been like a very visible attempt to like shift our focus from the Ayer cut to the Schumacher cut. And I think that, you know, with that being the case, that's why it's made it kind of rough for me to want to come out here and just be so open and talking about it, because it's like, yo, that's kind of, you know, if anything, you know, I want, you know what I'm saying, I want this damn Ayer cut too, right? Like, you're not gonna be able to shift my focus from that over to this, you know, just so easily. But I definitely still wanted to check the movie out because I do want to see it. So apparently it was or not apparently this, as you guys know, it was going to be screening out here in LA, and they gave us regular people an opportunity to be able to go to the screening, right? It was going to be at the end of this month, or like a few days from now, like this weekend coming up, if I'm not mistaken, right? So yeah, it was going to be offered to members of this place called Cinephile Video over in Santa Monica. Dope spot too. I want to say shout out to everybody there, everybody that I talked to throughout this entire process, everybody that I just had any kind of interactions with. You guys were all awesome, and I love that store. I'm going to continue to be a member, and I'm going to patronize it too, because like, yo, they got all my, you know, it's just like an old school Blockbuster type feel, right? Where they got all these videos in there, and the way they handle the rentals is pretty dope too. And they sell 4K Blu-rays, and I was like, yo, let me get this one and this one real quick. So yeah, just a super duper dope spot. And yeah, I had a great time being there and just kind of interacting with everybody that works there as well. But you know, so yeah, it gets announced, and I go down to the spot and I handle my membership, and I'm kind of waiting back to hear about when the screening is going to be, because at first I was interacting with the person that was like underneath whoever was in charge of this situation. So I'm kind of interacting with him, and he's being great, and he had gave me the guy's name that I was gonna need to get into contact with. So I was like, all right, cool. So I'm just like waiting and waiting and waiting, and then it's like getting closer and closer to the day, and I call up there, and I'm speaking to the guy, and I'm like, yo, I was being told that, and there was going to be some more correspondence, and like, hey, I'm just kind of checking in, and just got told straight up, like, this shit got canceled. And now I'm like talking to the guy who was in charge of the entire screening. So, yeah, I did speak to that person directly, and yeah, he's like, yeah, it's canceled, and he's like, not only is it canceled, but we like really really try to do it, man. And I'm like, well, like, what happened? He was like, pretty much they sent the cease and desist, and they went through a whole bunch of other avenues, speaking with their lawyers, trying to see if there was any way that they can get it done. And it was like, they just all kind of came back to the same thing of, it's a wrap. Like, they can't do it. So if they were to screen it, it was going to be like hella, it was going to be a problem, right? And he said, they have to do a screening unannounced and don't charge people admission, and they could have done it. Well, it was they weren't charging people. It was just it was for their members, right? So it was for members of that place. That was it. It wasn't like you could go buy a ticket. You had to be a member, and it was offered to their members. So, but yeah, it was, yeah, right. Shout out to LAPD. I actually think I left that open. I'm gonna close that in 1 second. But yeah, just yeah, and I asked him, I was like, hey, is there any kind of message that you want to give? Because I was going to cover it. And he was just like, yo, I just really want everybody to know that they tried every single thing that they could do. They absolutely tried. And it was a situation where they went through their lawyers and spoke with everybody, but it just all came back that, hey, they couldn't do it, or they were going to get sued in the oblivion. Right. But I just think that this kind of speaks to a larger issue. Right. And that's what I was talking about earlier with the way that the Schumacher cut has kind of been used at this point. Right. And I'm really not shocked that this happened. I'm not sure if they really want this movie out there like that right now. I'm not sure if they really are trying to give the DC fans hope and stuff like that, and just, have things look like they're caving on any type. I mean, I just don't, I don't see it, I think that this company has made it very, very clear that they will use these projects as like bait, to kind of get everybody to come outside or to stop talking about something else. They'll turn around and be like, hey, it's the Schumacher cut thing. And then they'll let it get all the way up to the 11th hour and then cancel the screening as if they didn't know that this shit was about to go down. Right? Like, it's crazy. And it's really unfortunate. The fans are the ones that suffer. I would, the only reason why I would like to thank them is because I did find a really, really dope video store that I am now a member of. So shout out to them for linking me up with them. But no, like, There is, and it's so crazy. This place was like right down the street from where I used to work at, and I had no idea that it was there. It was really like 4 minutes from my old job, like on the same street, down the same street, like 4 minutes from where I used to work at. And I was like, yo, I cannot believe that this shit was that close. And it was like a blockbuster, old school type video rental place that has a movie theater attached to it. That's the thing too. It's like a movie video rental with a theater attached to it. So this is not like some big, you know, AMC style. I mean, no, this is not that. This is not that. This is, hey, me and the guys run a video store and we have a theater attached that we show stuff from the video store on the movie screen, right? Like it's just totally like that type of situation. Totally like a mom and pop thing, not some huge corporate. And it's just, yeah, it's just it is very unfortunate. It's very unfortunate that this is how this has played out, but I'm not surprised. I'm just not surprised. I think that they've continued to kind of dangle this carrot in front of people, and I think that it just goes to show, you know, like how many more examples do we need before we say that, you know, we're just gonna stop engaging with this company? Like, you know, I keep asking people, what would it take to actually shift the conversation over? Nobody seems to have an answer for that question. It seems to be, it doesn't matter what they do or what they say or how bad did they treat their consumers, that there's just going to be this constant push to want to talk about their stuff and cover it in a way that is you know, just very weird, almost as in a way of like you're in a promotional arm. Like I've been seeing so many fucking Superman reviews coming out on oh my god, hey guys, this is what the Super McFlurry tastes like. It has itty bitty bites of goodness. Every scoop is filled to the brim with flavor. I'm like, bro, are you get the fuck out of here, bro? Right? Get out of here. Toonami says WB alone probably has a lot of unreleased director's cuts that they effed with during production. Releasing Schumacher cut or air cut would set bad precedent for future cuts and future studio meddling. And that's why they didn't want us to get the Snyder cut. And that's why all of those outlets was saying that it was going to set a bad precedent. Y'all remember that, right? Like how all those channels were saying the exact same thing. It's weird how all of a sudden all these influencers come out and start saying the same thing, right? Ain't that weird how that plays out? Y'all don't think so, right? Crazy. Said that's like reviewing the Krabby Patty from Wendy's when the burger tastes like a regular Wendy's burger. Crazy. Snyder Cut is an anomaly of an official studio. Yeah, they kept saying it's gonna set a bad precedence. You kept hearing that. Everybody was saying it. Collider was saying it. IGN was saying it. All these websites were saying it. They was all saying the exact same thing. Releasing the Snyder Cut is gonna set a bad precedent. They all said the same thing. Bruh, tell me that you're not an arm of these outlets without telling me that you're an arm. It's like, come on now. How do you even contemplate that? Oh man, giving into the fans, right? Giving into the fans sets a bad precedent. Giving the fans what they want sets a bad precedent. It's crazy, right? He said, I'm not much of a Keaton fan, but I would be interested in watching the Schumacher cut. Well, luckily Keaton wasn't in it. Right? That was a Val Kilmer. Says Sky, the studio doesn't want to be exposed further as an incompetent studio. I mean, but we already know what's up. Mama Bear said, weird thing is, it's not the first movie with Superman to get a director's cut long after the fact. What? Superman came out how much later? Right, it was like 30 years, 40 years, 20, you know. It's weird. Like, it's weird how these situations are handled, right? And then people keep trying to say, hey guys, why don't we keep asking them to restore the Snyderverse? Hey guys, why don't we keep asking them to make the, and it's just weird, bro. Like, Michael Uslan, which I'm gonna have a stream about this probably tomorrow. Michael Uslan liked comments from South Cali guy, right? And then you got Leon reposting it, making like a little post surrounding the situation, talking about it. So it's Michael Uslan, the Batman producer, liking our hashtags. And then you got people coming in the comments talking about, hey guys, let's ask WB to make the Batfleck movie. It's like, yo, he liked the comment about Netflix. Like, what's wrong with you guys? Like, what's wrong with you guys? And that's why this discourse is always so weird to me, because it always keeps trying to get circled back to this company, and we see how trash they are. I mean, is anybody gonna say that this is not a black eye, that they let this mom and pop little shop think that they're gonna be able to put this movie out, and then they Kevin Smith them at the last second, right? Not only that, Zack Snyder retweeted and said, yeah, bro, they wanted to act like they didn't know what happened when Zack did that. You literally had people confused. Oh, let's keep asking WB. It's like, bro, you see how incompetent that this company is. There we go. They have the Schumacher cut at this place. They want to do a screening for their members, not even saying like, hey, let's do a big wide release, right? Let's not even say, hey, like, let's go charge people, let's sell tickets, right? Not even saying that. Right? Pretty much saying, hey, remember when they wouldn't let people screen Zack Snyder's Justice League? They would not let people rent out theaters to play their own fucking Blu-ray. You could buy a Blu-ray, right? Any other movie, they would let you go rent out a theater and go play. But that one, nah, can't do it. And y'all want us to keep conversing with these people? This is so dumb. This is so dumb. Said Ryan Coat Levy from Chainsaw Man and Roger Craig Smith from Sonic the Hedgehog supported the sale hashtags. But nah, man, we'll be talking about that, and then somebody will go in the comments and be like, hey guys, let's go talk to WB. Man, y'all are some fucking narcs, bro. I'm so sick of this. They're narcs, dog. Said it makes no sense to continue to devote a bunch of time to a studio that doesn't respect us. There's always other lanes to get to a destination, right? Not only do they, right, like, do they not want to stay in their own lane, but they don't even want us to be in our own lane. They're saying, yo, like, not only can y'all, not just be in your own lane, like, we're going to be over here conversing with you guys, but then also saying you can't even take the route that you're taking. Said Captain America movie from the 90s has a director's cut floating around right now also. Said no matter if people agree with both sides, they agree the Snyderverse should go to Netflix, and that's the best decision. Bruh, Forbes said it. That ain't me. Forbes said that. He said, but you need to see Superman if you want the air cut. Yeah, whatever. Bruh, please tell me somebody didn't say that, dog. Bruh, please tell me somebody didn't say that, dog. Curly Ray, please, bro. I'm going to crash out, bro. Please tell me somebody didn't say that we got to go see Superman to get the air cut. Said WB doesn't respect fans or true creatives. They meddled with Donner, Burton, Snyder, and many others. Imagine Rick Famuyiwa Flash movie. Bro, that movie would have been so crazy, dog. That movie would have been so crazy, dog. Right? Hold on. The Flash, dog. Y'all seen Dope? Or I hope y'all seen Dope. That is an incredible movie. All right. Yeah, no, I ain't having it. I don't see nothing. Yeah, I ain't having it, bro. She said, seriously? Bruh, if somebody said that we got to go see Superman to get the air cut, dog. Bro, how many times have we told yo? How many times have we told y'all that these people work for Warner Brothers? Like, I'm gonna just keep it a buck. How many times? Bruh, if I see them, bruh, if I get this quote, if Curly Ray shows me somebody saying to go see Superman in order to get the air cut, I'm gonna vomit, bro. I'm gonna like vomit midstream. I'm gonna just bleh, bleh. Oh my god, bro. Dude, this is ridiculous, bro. Please don't tell me. Look, this is the stream right now because we talking director's cuts. We talking about the Schumacher cut that they just canceled. I was gonna be there, and just think about that. I was gonna surprise you guys, right? I was gonna legit surprise you guys. I wasn't gonna say nothing, right? I had became a member. I had been up there twice, had talked to him on the phone like 3 times. 3 times. I was going to cover this for y'all. I was going to be there. 100% on everything. Right? The person who they swear don't even be talking about this shit. They be like, oh, yeah, see, they don't like cinema. All they talk about is blah, 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 blah. You see, they don't support other directors' visions. None of that. I was going to be there, front and center, and I was going to cover it for the syndicate. Facts. Ask anybody. The cool table knew. They all knew. I was hyped. I was like, bro, I'm sitting here conversing with the guy that's putting it on. Right? Oh my God. No, I see what you're saying. Nah, but that's crazy, bro. Yeah. And that's coming from somebody that called me. This is crazy, bro. They up there talking about if you want the Snyderverse, any Snyderverse stuff, you gotta go support Superman. Bro, these are the people that's on the other side, and they be calling us weird. And I've met that person. Crazy. He said, Sky, there's a plant that said the DCU is our only hope to get the Snyderverse back. These people are controlled ops. Crazy, yo. Philip said, I feel bad for Corn Sweat. And to be honest, bro hasn't come out and talked about anyone. It just sucks he has to be under the control of gun. I mean, look, man. Bruh. When you've been around as long as he was, the earliest I've seen that they was talking about David Corn Sweat playing Superman was in 2018, bro. If they've been prepping you this whole time and you've been sitting here watching everything go down and you knew about all this Cavill stuff, bro, and you saw everything play out, you know what I mean? Like, hey, you was part of this project, bro. You know what I'm saying? And that's just, look, we can critique. You know what I'm saying? Like, we have the right to critique. So, hey, man, bro, since 2018, bro, I think it was Walter Hamada was talking about that was his Superman in like 2018, bro. So he been around. He been seeing this whole shit play out, the whole thing. So they've obviously been trying to, you know what I'm saying, get him in there as Superman. He said, ask bro if he can just show you the movie personally so he can get a review. Hey, I'll ask. Nah, I'll ask, bro. All right. Said these people claim that it doesn't matter which hashtags we use to support the Snyderverse, but then are confused about Rebel Moon celebration. Yeah, bro. Said, hey Sky, is they or is they not release the Batman Forever director's cut? Nah, man. No. They ain't putting that shit out, bro. They ain't gonna put it out. They is not gonna put it out. I don't think so. Cause it's crazy. Cause I don't understand why they would cancel this thing. And you have this little bitty spot that's super dope. Cinephile video, CINEFILE video. Yeah, super dope spot. And for them to be trying to put all that effort in and hold this little bitty screening for their members, you know, it's just messed up because they was doing the same shit with the Snyder Cut. And it's weird, like they just have these little things where usually it wouldn't be no problem for these things to happen, right? But when it's Warner Brothers and it's like something that the fans really want, hell nah. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah. Right? He said Cornball Sweat is an issue. He called Cavill dark and didn't write him a letter of passing the torch, but he did for Tyler Hoechlin. Yeah, come on, bro. Nah. What's crazy is he was low-key kind of talking, I can't wait for Superman to be more light and hopeful and and like this was like way back in the day, which just makes me ask, when did he actually know that he was going to be Superman? Because they make it seem like it was some recent thing, but there's quotes back from 2018 where his name was in there. You know, and we're in 2025 and this movie's about to come out now. You know? What up, South Cali? Yeah. Yeah, I always try to, like, you know, have some grace. And yeah, I agree. It's not that same kind of situation, right? Like the Bella Ramsey stuff. Because she's kind of done that to herself. Like, I do think that there is a difference between those kind of situations, right? Whereas you have the Bella Ramsey thing and the what's her name, Rachel Zegler, also, where they've kind of been the one that have come out early and make comments. And hey, Pedro Pascal is in some hot water right now about something that he said recently. So you've had people kind of come out and make statements that have, like, really kind of just turned off a large section of the fan base, and where they're saying, yo, like, you know, we just don't like this rhetoric, right? And we kind of just don't want to hear it. So that's one thing. But in this hand, it's kind of like when I was talking to Leon about the Batman, right? And I was saying about how I kind of thought it was messed up and that they wasn't gonna get a sequel. And he was like, yo, it's kind of hard for me to have any sympathy for that movie just because of, like, what that movie represented, right? Like, they legit came in. And look, Matt Reeves was offered this, so it's not like I'm gonna blame him for taking it, but it's just like the entire situation. If you look how it played out, that was supposed to be Ben Affleck's movie. They came on, took the movie from him, kept the same title, all that, you know, and then did this reboot, right? So, when you have these type of things that happen, you know, I do believe in karma, yo. So I do think it's kind of crazy that even though that movie made $700 million, there seems to be a struggle for there to be any kind of sequel. The Penguin has been one of HBO's biggest hits in years, especially for like a new series. And yeah, they're probably not going to get a second season of that either. So I think it's kind of a similar situation here where you have this project that just seems to be you know, like, just mired in kind of like controversy and just how it started. You know, James Gunn took the damn Man of Steel 2 script, right? Jazzed it up with some goofiness and some probably some AI comedy and all that, right? You know, as well as some cameo porn. And then we have this movie. And so I don't see how you kind of like get a better result. You know, Matt Reeves is a better filmmaker. He's more proven. He's just a better filmmaker, I think, by every given metric that you could probably have, right? And if he couldn't crack that with the Batman, and that wasn't even, bro, that wasn't nowhere near as egregious as this one. This one, Cavill was brought back, and then you fired him, and then you lied about firing him, saying, hey, he was never fired. We just didn't hire him. You know, all these things. You was telling everybody that they was coming back, like Gal Gadot lying to the people about Ben Affleck working with you and being an architect of the DCU, like pretty much just everything that was dealing with the Snyderverse. These people were lied on to appease the fan base until they would eventually reboot, or not even reboot, but just retcon everything. The only person that was able to kind of go along and, or not able to, but was willing to, I should rather say, was Jason Momoa, right? And then look, I mean, if this Superman movie don't do too well, that Supergirl shit might not even come out. Imagine that. Right? Like, man, I don't know. This this whole thing, I mean, it's just very interesting, and it's going to be interesting to watch it play out. I think that this Schumacher cut thing just kind of underscores the fact that, you know, we've been talking about it over and over and over again. Warner Brothers, they're just trash, yo. We had somebody in the chat last night talking about the Injustice game and what James Gunn's alleged notes was. Said if you don't turn Superman back good, then y'all can't even make the game. Like, what the hell is wrong with you, bro? It's Injustice. Don't y'all know that the bad Superman gets crazy? The first game had a good Superman. The second one didn't, because they pretty much like closed everybody off, but it was an amazing story, even with evil Superman. But nah, James Gunn got his movie coming out, right? So hey, yeah, it's a fucking fighting game. Superman can't be evil in a fighting game? Philip said, the wild thing about it is I didn't like the Batman, but I like the Penguin series. You know, I never finished it. I ain't even gonna front. I was really liking that show, and then it started kind of getting a little weird for me. But I really didn't like that whole Gigante part. As soon as she switched and she was like, "Oh, I'm a Gigante now," I just really didn't like that, and I never finished it. But it was a great show though. And what was funny about the Batman movie is that I had said that even when I walked out of the theater, I was like, yo, I'm more excited for the sequel than I enjoyed this first movie. Like, I thought where they left it off at was a really, really good point, right? With Gotham being flooded and all that. But you know, in terms of like how much I enjoyed that movie, nah, it was, you know, but I was excited for the sequel, and it made $700 million. So I was like, yo, let's go ahead and let's see what they got. You know, let's see what he got. Say Sky finished the Penguin. Plus I predicted what was going to happen too. When they first said, "Oh, at the end of this show, you're going to hate Oswald." And I was like, "Yo, you know, like, I don't want to spoil it cuz I haven't seen it, but I already know that this happens." I already predicted it. I was like, "Yo, oh yeah, he going to whack old boy." Like, I already knew. And somebody told me, no, he's not. And lo and behold, he did. Right? Said, oh, wait, where'd it go? You said, WBD said, get that weird ass humor out of here. All right. Bad Dan says, I'll be honest, I don't want Injustice 3 now that Kevin Conroy's gone. Man, that's tough, man. Because I kind of still want it. I ain't even gonna lie. Bruh, when they announced Mortal Kombat 1, I got so mad. I was like, how they gonna do 2 Mortal Kombats back to back? Because I love Mortal Kombat, but I feel like, yo, another realm, I like when they switch it up. And so, yeah, I was like, what the hell? Right? Look, but then it's like, you have to ask yourself this. We could have had Injustice 3 probably while Kevin Conroy was still here. Right? Wild. Said 90% sure Crypto going to be in Injustice 3 storyline also. Oh my god. Yeah. He's going to be one of like them little like helper characters, right? Oh yeah, you already know. And it ain't gonna be a lab either. It's gonna look like James Gunn's dog. Asthmatics said, I hope they left super shit in the movie. Yeah, I do too. Right? Said, I fell asleep in the theater watching Batman. You see, that's what happens when you try to make a full-on detective film in live action. A Batman movie works better when it's just pure action madness. Well, I don't think that the Nolan trilogy was like pure action madness. It didn't have a whole lot of detective stuff in there though. Yeah, I don't know if it was the detective stuff. I just think it was like, I don't know, man. I always use the word overindulgence for that movie. Like, that's just what I felt. It was just like, oh my God, look at this cinematography. Look at this blocking. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was like, man, and then just all the shots of him walking in the rain. Like, it was just like little stylistic choices, like, you know, and him just walking, period. It's like that added so much time to the movie. If you take out him walking, I guarantee you the movie's more brisk. Right? Yeah. We do need that Arkham movie though. Or what did Matt Reeves say it was? James Bondian? Crazy. Yeah. He said the Schumacher cut wouldn't create a demand for sequels. There's literally zero harm in releasing it. Well, there is harm. It's harm in their ego, bro. Because, hey, what if that shit comes out and it's like, oh my God, the Schumacher cut is peak. What was they thinking? It's just more bad publicity. Right? But they're not looking at it how they should be looking at it. They should be looking at it like, yo, we can secure some wins with the fans, with the consumers. Let's not piss off people that are like, you know, going to this, you know, mom and pop video rental spot with the theater fucking attached to it. Maybe not send them cease and desist. Right? Brick Builder said the detective work in BVS was way more involved than the Batman, even though Lex was setting him up the whole time. But still, yeah. Right? He said, I need to enter rest mode. This has been a wonderful stream. Have a great night. Yeah, I'm going to be in here for like a little bit longer. All right. But I won't be in there for too much longer. Ryan E says, Catwoman plot slowed the film down. Yo, Catwoman, man. Yo, for me personally, I feel like the person I had the most problems with was Batman. That movie had a protagonist problem, man. And it wasn't Robert Pattinson. I think it was just some directorial choices and some writing choices. I really didn't like when the Alfred scene, like right after he got blown up trying to save Bruce, and then they're in the hospital, and then the first thing he says, he's like, "You lied to me." And I'm like, bro, that's Alfred, dog. He almost blew up for you, bro. Like, what are you talking? Why are you yelling at Alfred as soon as he wakes up out of a coma? Right? And it was just hella like random stuff, and it was just inconsistent. Like, Batman would get shot with certain stuff, and then it wouldn't hurt. And then he was getting shot with like what? It was like a submachine gun. He just like walked through it, and it was all fine. And the other times he gets shot, and then he's like super hurt, and he's about to die. I'm like, yo, what's going on, man? Like, where's the consistency? You'd have never seen no inconsistent shit like that in no Zack movie. If it's one thing, all of the physicality stuff or the physical stuff or things dealing with physicality and like, you know, strength and the durability of certain things, everything is super consistent. So like you would never get that kind of stuff. Right? Yeah. You would never get that kind of stuff. Right? Besides opening and closing monologue, Batman was the worst. Bruh, Batman was bugging. It was so many little things just wrong with that movie. And then him pulling the green shit out and just shooting it up and at the end, I thought it was Venom, bro. I was about to flip out. I was like, yo, is that Venom? But obviously it wasn't. And then I don't know. That whole subplot with the green shit was crazy. He just pulled it out of nowhere. I was like, oh, he just got a green substance that we've never seen before in the movie. Have no idea what it is, what it does. I was like, is that adrenaline? Like, what is that? Did anybody ever figure out what that green shit was outside of Chris Wozniak? Right, with Batman Gate? I think he was the only one that knew what was in that green stuff. Funny enough. All right. He says, I don't even blame Gunn for all this. I mean, if someone offered me a huge bag, I'd say I could run DC and make Suits movie too. But WBD is to blame because he has no business being there. Yeah, nah, he shouldn't be there. Right? Said, don't get me started on Bruce Wayne. Philip says, did anyone else not like Zoe Kravitz as Catwoman? The one actress I would love to see play Catwoman one day is Aubrey Plaza. If you know, you know. It's all in the eyes. I actually liked Zoe Kravitz. I can see why people could have some problems with it. But I can see Aubrey Plaza being a cool Catwoman too. You know, it would just be interesting her kind of taking on that kind of role. All right. Yeah. He said he was shooting that shit heavy throughout the whole movie. Yeah, man. He said emo boy is not Batman. All right. He said I would think it was Venom, but that would mean Reeves actually read some comics, so I doubt it. Bro, it was crazy. It was crazy. That green shit was wild. I was like, what is that? I for sure thought it was Venom. And then he said, Matt Reeves didn't give a shit about no comic books, bro. He said, Reeves for sure got a copy of that Wozniak outline. He waiting for another outline this whole time. That's why, yeah. Yo, that's hilarious, bro. That joke kind of is like, that's like, you know, one could say that, right? I guess we could say. One could say that. That is hilarious, man. he said he can't crack that script, bro. He's still waiting to find out what that green shit was, bro. Look, y'all put y'all last questions and comments down at the bottom. I'll be closing out in a little bit. But yeah, man, just know this as I go into the night, right? Y'all can't be trusting this company, bro. We just can't be trusting this company. Like, I don't get the thought process behind you know, trying to continue having conversations with them is, right? I don't understand any of it, you know? I think if you like everywhere you turn, there's more and more reasons to not rock with these people. And now all of a sudden they're canceling, you know, like little mom and pop screenings of films that they wasn't even about to be making no ticket sales on or none of that. That's crazy. Said gun fans not realizing WB will have no problem screwing them over at any point. They're too focused hating on Snyder fans. Hey, let them fight. All right. He said, if I was Reeves or Donner family or John Williams, I'd be pissed about them jacking theme too. It's not honoring it. It's a cash grab, nostalgia bait, even though I'm sure Williams can't say anything. Yeah, bro. You know he can't. Bro, can't nobody say nothing, man. Can't nobody say nothing about these, bro. Getting people to like be honest about how they feel when it comes to these things nowadays. You know, I don't know if we're ever gonna go. I don't know if we ever were at that point, bro. Like, I don't know. You know what I'm saying? But that's why we trying to do what we trying to do over here, because we want to bring like a certain level of honesty and integrity back to this stuff, man. Because, you know, it's real easy to go the other way. Like, it's real easy to go the other way. And I just think that when you continue to like stay the course, and because even say like with our ROEs, right, that has gotten us in so much trouble ever since we've started this thing. That's been the one thing that I think has really kind of led to the most amount of friction, is the fact, right? And just think about that. The fact that we ask people to not mix hashtags has been the most troublesome thing that we've had to deal with this entire time. Easy. It's like people just feeling as if, hey, and just that's something so small, but it's very telling. It's very telling. I'm not saying, hey, don't use other hashtags. Anybody trying to police what people do on social media? We just ask, hey, if you're going to use this one, you or these ones, use them together. And that was like the biggest problem in the world. He said, Gunn telling fans to stop asking for Kylie versus Acme on his page was crazy. He said, dude, that's your movie. You wrote it. Nah, just don't ask. I said, don't ask. No questions. I said, why you got to ask why Pastor got a nice house? Huh? Or why you got to ask why Pastor drive a nice car? Huh? I said, don't ask. No questions. Oh my God. He said, notice how when McQuarrie trashed the DCU and Gunn, WB got reactionary and doing justice changes. Yo, not even just that. I think, yo, look, y'all don't be realizing, man, when the audience stick up and people really stick to their guns and they be about their business, and they stand on business and be ready to, like, you know, weather the storm like real men and women of integrity, right? Or just people of integrity, right? When we do that, it's noticed, right? Like, you know, and I try to pass this message along to other content creators too, because I've talked to certain people and they've like wanted their channels to be bigger and stuff like that. And I've told them, I'm like, look, man, you never know who's watching your platform. You just never know. I was watching Kai Sanat the other day. He was in somebody's chat who had 2 viewers. I think it was 2 viewers, and he was in there trying to comment, and the guy just wasn't reading his chat. He was like playing games or just doing something. But yeah, like, you just never know. Right? Like, I've heard hella stories about people being like, I'm like, you know, about famous fucking person pulling up and just watching a stream with nobody else in it. There's been stories of like artists that have made albums under like a random YouTube name that you would have never heard. Yeah, I think The Alchemist said that he has an album with somebody that's under like a random ass name. And it's just like an album that's on the internet and people don't even like really know about it because it's just under a random channel, right? Like, look, you never know who's watching. So you when we're having these conversations and we can make certain points, and then right after that you're seeing how these things are playing out like in the larger media circles, you can just see where the impact is, right? Yeah, that's what the word is. Earl Sweatshirt and Alchemist. Yep. They got a secret album that, you know, they just put out on YouTube. Right. And I've heard countless stories about celebrity actors, artists, football players, basketball players. Like, yeah, I just be watching streams, and I might be the only motherfucker hitting there watching somebody, right? So it's just important to kind of keep your foot on the gas and to always stick to your guns and just continue to be people of integrity. So we're gonna keep doing that. And yeah, I just hope that, you know, when we get to the finish line that they be watching those streams too to see us celebrating. You know what I mean? We got a brick builder saying, I just rewatched Man of Steel yesterday with my daughter. There's no way this is coming close. No way. She's 9 and she loves Snyderverse too and thinks super shit looks like a joke and hates it. It really does look terrible, bro. Toonami says Gunn was for sure watching Mikey Sutton podcast with you and other dude back in the day, bro. I got it under good authority. He still be watching. Would you believe that if I told you that he still be watching? He probably be listening to this shit while he dyes his hair. All right. Frank C said Sky Gunn has even more competition. It was announced today that the new Clips album, oh my God, not only is the Clips album coming, but allegedly it's gonna have a Kendrick Lamar verse on it too. That's probably gonna be an issue. Damn. So everybody gonna be talking about the Kendrick Lamar verse too. I guarantee you. See, this is what happens when you're well-rounded. You can just talk about a vast array of topics. Yeah, Kendrick has a feature on the Clips album. Oh my God. He said, I bet Sean's in here now. Oh yeah, bro, man. Grinding. Bro. Somebody give me a pen, bro. We used to be on the tables, dog. What up, Osa Fresh? Yeah, I am about to shut down though. But look, I just he said is Timbo producing it? No, I think it's Pharrell, if I'm not mistaken. I think they're back with Pharrell. If I'm not mistaken. I think they're back with Pharrell. All right. The Clips album gonna be crazy. And he said, oh, hi James. Right. He said Skywalker's on fires. Hey, yeah, nah, we here. We are here. We are here. Yeah. Yep. For real. Oh yeah. Yep. For real, bruh. Clips is back together. You know what I mean? Matter of fact, since James Gunn is probably watching this stream right now, I'm about to get on out of here. Let me go ahead and play this for y'all as we get on out of here. Peace.
You ain't gonna say nothing else before, you know, we continue the party?
Yeah, okay. I'm gonna just need a moment of silence for this. I see dead people.
Hey, mustard on a beat, how deep, bro. Any rap nigga, he a freak, though. Man down, call an ambulance, tell him breathe, bro. Nail a nigga to the club, he walk around like, what's up with these jabroni ass niggas trying to see Compton? The industry can hate me, fuck them all and they mama. How many op really got? Mean it's too many options. Finna spaz on his body, I'm John Stockton. Beat your ass and hide the Bible if God watching. Sometimes you gotta pop out and show niggas. Certified boogie man, I'm the one that up the score with him. Walking down, whole time I know he got some pulling him. Extra shit, bully that throwing him. Say Drake, I hear you like I'm young. You better not ever go to cell block 1. To any bitch that talk to him and they're in love, just make sure you hide your little sister from him. They tell me Chubb's the only one that get your hammy down. And party at the party playing with his nose now. And Papa got a real taste, why is he around? Certified lover boy, certified pedestal. God, fuck him up. I'ma do my stuff. Why you pulling like a bitch, ain't you? Trying to strike a chord, and it's probably...
They not like us. 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 They not like us.